development trajectory of Japanese figure skaters. Yuzuru Hanyu. At the Milan-Cortina Olympic Games held this past February, Japanese figure skaters won a record 6 medals, including the team event. This remarkable achievement undoubtedly reflects the successes and challenges faced by Japanese figure skaters up to that point, from the 2002 Salt Lake City Olympics to the 2022 Beijing Olympics. However, we'll focus on the career of Yuzuru Hanyu, who has achieved numerous successes, including winning back-to-back gold medals at the 2014 Sochi and 2018 PyeongChang Olympics. This video explores his struggles after the Sochi Olympics and his journey to winning back-to-back Olympic gold medals. Having achieved his first goal, winning gold at the 2014 Olympic Games in Sochi, Yuzuru Hanyu began the 2014 to 2015 season with a new goal: to win 2 Olympic gold medals in a row. He set himself the goal of not being judged simply as an Olympic champion, but as a performer worthy of an Olympic champion, and chose the graceful piano piece Ballad No. 1 in G minor for his short program as a new challenge to expand his expressive range. However, at the first competition of the season, the Chinese Grand Prix, he was immediately struck by an accident. During the 6-minute warm-up before his free skate, as he was about to perform a jump, he collided with Han Yan China, who was also preparing to perform a jump. Despite this, Hanyu received first aid from the American team doctor and continued competing. Despite 5 falls, he managed to score a total of 237.55 points, finishing second. After a thorough examination, which revealed that his injury would require 2 to 3 weeks to recover, Hanyu, determined not to give up and not to withdraw from the Grand Prix final, competed at the NHK Trophy 3 weeks later. Although he finished 4th, he secured his spot in the Grand Prix final as the 6th skater. At the Grand Prix final, he led the short program and then flawlessly executed a quadruple salcha and toe loop in the free skate, winning with a total of 288.16 points. He also won the All Japan Championships with a total of 286.86 points, 35 points ahead of the second-place finisher. His performance was a magnificent display of his unwavering determination to win. However, immediately afterward, he was diagnosed with a remnant urethral duct and underwent surgery, after which he spent 2 weeks in the hospital. Even after his release from the hospital, a sprained right ankle prevented him from training for some time, and he competed at the World Championships without sufficient preparation, ultimately losing to Javier Fernandez Spain, finishing second. The 2015 to 2016 season was a breakthrough for him, as he literally crushed the competition. Although he finished second to Patrick Chancan at the Canadian Grand Prix, he truly excelled at the subsequent NHK Trophy. In the short program, he changed his style, adding a quadruple salcha and a quadruple toe loop, triple toe loop combination to the first half of his Ballad No. 1 in G minor routine. He executed these difficult jumps flawlessly, scoring 106.33 points, nearly 5 points higher than his own world record. In the free skate, he delivered a spirited and flawless performance, earning a total of 322.40 points, the first time a skater had broken the 300-point mark, and winning the competition. 2 weeks later, at the Grand Prix final, he scored an astonishing 110.95 points in the short program and 219.48 points in the free skate, for a total of 330.43 points. Reflecting on the results, Hanyu said, "At NHK Trophy, I was just happy that I did it, but this time, the feeling of relief that everything went well was stronger," he explained. "I think one of the reasons I was fearful was that after achieving the results at NHK Trophy, I became someone everyone was chasing. After winning the Sochi Olympics and World Championships, I suffered an injury at the Cup of China, which I approached with confidence, and then made mistakes at the following NHK Trophy. I remember telling myself before the Grand Prix final, I can get back into the running. That's why I was afraid of finding myself in a different situation this time. But such an environment is also a kind of self-challenge. Even if I'm being hounded, this competition made me realize that I have to fight against all the conditions around me." After his 4th consecutive victory at the All Japan Championships, he again finished second at the 2016 World Championships due to a ligament injury in his left foot sustained during training. After the competition, he was diagnosed with a Lisfranc injury in his left foot, which required 2 months to recover, and he dedicated himself to treatment and rehabilitation for the new season. Even injured, Hanyu began a new challenge in the 2016 to 2017 season: Despite limiting his training to the quadruple toe loop, he made progress in mastering it and considered incorporating it into his program. In July, he announced he would use a loop and a salchow as quadruple jumps in his short program, and two salchows, a loop, and a toe loop in his free skate. This challenge didn't immediately lead to a flawless performance, but at the NHK Trophy, the second event of the Grand Prix series, he scored 301.47 points, surpassing the 300 mark for the third time, and won the competition. He then went on to win his fourth consecutive Grand Prix final. However, at the Four Continents Championships later that season, despite scoring 303.71 points, he was defeated by Nathan Chen USA, who landed for different quadruple jumps, including a Lutz and a flip, to finish second. This highlighted the emergence of a new force in the sport. Nevertheless, he demonstrated the dominance of a champion at the World Championships. In the short program, Fernandez led with 109.05 points, and the top three skaters all scored over 100 points, demonstrating the high level of competition. Hanyu started slowly, finishing fifth with a score of around 98 points, but he flawlessly executed his free skate, Hope and Legacy, which included for quadruple jumps, and scored 223.20 points. His overall score of 321.59 points secured him the victory, raising expectations for the upcoming Olympic season in PyeongChang. The 2017-2018 season, which included the PyeongChang Olympic Games. Seeking a second consecutive Olympic gold medal, Hanyu chose ballad No. 1 in G minor for his short program, the same program he skated to for 2 seasons, following the Sochi Olympics. For his free skate, he chose Saime, the program he'd chosen 2 seasons earlier, stating he wanted to see how the world would appreciate the Japanese atmosphere, and which had consistently broken his own world records. At the Autumn Classic in September, he announced his intention to attempt a free skate with 5 quadruple jumps, of 4 different types: a salchow, a toe loop, a loop, and a lutz. This was likely a challenge that foreshadowed Chen's future development, given that Chen had successfully landed his 5th quadruple jump, a loop, at the U.S. International Classic the week before. However, this challenge later put Hanyu in a difficult position. At the Russian Grand Prix, where Hanyu competed against Chen, he made a mistake in the short program, fell, and started in second place, more than 5 points behind Chen. In the free skate, he was only able to land 3 quadruple jumps, but successfully landed his first quadruple lutz. Hanyu took first place, overtaking Chen, who successfully landed for quadruple jumps, but ultimately finished second overall, behind Chen. Nevertheless, Hanyu felt a tremendous sense of satisfaction from successfully landing a quadruple lutz. However, at the second competition, the NHK Cup, an unexpected incident occurred. The previous day, during practice, despite not being in the best physical condition, he injured his right ankle while attempting a quadruple lutz. The following day, he was diagnosed with a lateral ankle ligament injury, and his withdrawal from competition was announced. Furthermore, the recovery took a significant amount of time, causing him to miss the All Japan Championships. So, despite being selected for the PyeongChang Olympics based on his achievements, Hanyu faced rigorous competition, striving for victory for the second consecutive year, without any prior preparation. For 3 months after the injury, I could only watch the competitions, and it was a difficult time not being able to skate, said Hanyu, who arrived in PyeongChang 5 days before the start of the men's short program. A large number of journalists from various countries attended the press conference, following the official practice on February 13, a testament to the high level of attention he was receiving. During the period when he couldn't skate due to injury, Hanyu focused on off-ice training. He said it wasn't wasted time, but time during which he learned a lot. But it wasn't until a few weeks before this press conference that he was able to begin on-ice training and jumps. About 3 weeks earlier, he was able to land triple jumps and triple axels, and about 2.5 weeks later, quadruple jumps. Despite these circumstances, Hanyu answered journalists' questions calmly and unperturbed. On February 16, the day of the short program, Hanyu delivered a flawless performance. Dispelling all his concerns, he began skating with a calm focus emanating from his entire body. I was a little nervous because I couldn't land a quadruple salchow during morning practice, but I was able to apply what I learned from books and articles during my time off from skating, including correction methods, Hanyu said. From his first quadruple salchow to the end, his performance was smooth and error-free. His score of 111.68 points was close to his personal best, giving him a roughly 4-point lead over second-place Fernandez. Everything was exactly as I'd trained. I felt like my body remembered everything, and most importantly, the axel, toe loop, and Salchow are jumps I've been doing for many years. In that sense, I jumped with gratitude. However, he was still in pain and competed while taking painkillers. The next day, during his free skate, Hanyu said, "Because of the injury, I had a lot to think about. I learned a lot about strategy, and I felt like I came here to win." He decided to skip the quadruple loop and opted for a program consisting of 4 quadruple jumps and 1 triple axel. Hanyu was 4th in the final group, followed by Fernandez, who placed 2nd in the short program, and Shomano, who placed 3rd. He started calmly, as he had in the short program, and earned a perfect go grade of execution score for his first quadruple Salchow and subsequent quadruple toe loop. He also cleanly landed a quadruple Salchow triple toe loop combination in the second half of his program, although he stumbled on the landing of his next quadruple toe loop and was unable to complete the planned triple jump combination. He corrected the situation by adding a triple axel. He finally landed a triple Lutz, which he described as a jump I barely managed to do while fighting pain, minimizing his errors and completing the program. His score was 206.17 points. In the free skate, Hanyu finished 2nd behind Chen, who landed 6 quadruple jumps of 4 different types, but his overall score of 317.85 points earned him his first Olympic gold medal in men's singles skating in 66 consecutive years. After the awards ceremony, Hanyu smiled and spoke about the difference between this Olympics and the Sochi Olympics. "Unlike the reckless determination I showed in Sochi, this time I truly felt like I was on a mission, like I had to win a medal, and so I also felt a strong sense of what if I miss it. When I was 19, I thought I still had time before the Olympics, but this time the Olympics was a battle waged under the pressure of there's no more time. I don't know how many more times I can perform on such a big stage, so in a way, I truly felt what the Olympics were like." These competitions further demonstrated Hanyu's incredible fortitude. On the final day of competition, Hanyu performed an exhibition routine in the grand final, dancing to Not Stellato piece given to him by Tatiana Tarasova at the 2016 Canadian Championships with the request, "I really want you to dance this." At the Sochi Olympics exhibition, he performed his short program, White Legend, from the season following the Great East Japan earthquake. Commenting on his choice, Hanyu said, "My White Legend in Sochi reflected my experiences during the earthquake, but this time, the choreography is even more focused on floating, so I skated with the hope that I could convey a performance that would bring a little joy and light to everyone recovering from the earthquake." After returning from the Olympics, Hanyu was diagnosed with a torn lateral ankle ligament and a torn peroneal tendon. He was forced to withdraw from the World Championships, where he had been selected, and finish his season. Continued in the final episode. Yuzuru Hanyu, born December 7, 1994 in Sendai, Miyagi Prefecture. He won the Junior Grand Prix final in 2009 and the World Junior Championships in 2010. He won Japan's first men's figure skating gold medal at the 2014 Sochi Olympics, and achieved its first consecutive men's singles title in 66 years at the 2018 PyeongChang Olympics. During this time, he also achieved numerous other remarkable achievements, including 2 World Championships and 4 consecutive Grand Prix final victories. After competing in the 2022 Beijing Olympics finishing 4th, he turned professional in July of that year. He is actively working as a professional skater, including organizing and producing his own ice shows.